Good morning, CC families. This is Mrs. Shannon with Cycle 3, Week 21, and we're going to start with English this week. So I have these books that I've had my kids use all year, and I'm going to have them write what we're doing this week, subordinate clause. So subordinate clause, depending on the age of your kids, you could have them write the whole thing or have them write part of it or have them trace it. But I have 4, 5, and 6-year-olds, so the older ones could definitely write it, and the younger ones I'll just help a little bit. So we are going to do that, and then I'm going to teach them a song to the tune of If You're Happy and You Know It, and it goes like this. A subordinate clause, also known as a dependent clause, does not express a complete thought and cannot stand alone. So I'll do it one more time with clapping, since it's if you're happy and you know it. A subordinate clause, also known as a dependent clause, does not express a complete thought and cannot stand alone. So then I give them a sticker to put on the front of their book. I've been doing this every week, so by the end they'll have 24 plus stickers. So that is English this week. For a timeline this week, I am going to hide these cards around the room before class starts. I put the first letter of each event on my card just because I have younger kids, 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds, and it helps them identify what the cards are. I get these from the dollar store. So I've always done that, and so I'm gonna have them hidden around. When we get to this point, I'm gonna say, okay, go find 1 or 2 cards hidden around the room, depending on how many kids I have. Bring them back to your seat. I'm gonna have 7 pieces of painter's tape on the wall. So then once they come back to their seat, they have 1 or 2 timeline cards. I'm going to give them each one of these action cards. So we've got like bunny hop or lunges or horse gallop, etc. I'll link where I got these from below. But what we're gonna do is, so I'll say, okay, the first one is World War II. Who has that one? And Franklin D. Roosevelt. So whoever has that one will say, oh, I do. And we could, I'll be like, what does World War II start with? Oh, W. Who has a W to help them? So whoever has this one, we'll go over the motion for it together. So, okay, so we'll say World War II. We'll go World War II and President Franklin. So we'll do an F and then D and then Roosevelt. So I'll have all the kids do that together. And then whoever had this card, say their action card said bunny hop. I'll say, okay, I want you to bunny hop this over to the first spot on the wall. So the first piece of painter's tape that I have on the wall. So I'll have whoever that kid is bunny hop the card over and put it in the first spot, just to kind of change it up a little bit, add a new spin to it. And then we'll do, okay, who has the second one? The second one is Stalin of the USSR and the Katyn Massacre. Stalin, what does that start with? Oh, S, awesome. Okay, so let's go over the hand motion for that. So Stalin of USSR. So we'll do for Stalin's mustache, Stalin of the USSR and the Katyn, so we'll go 1 finger under, Katyn Massacre. And then I'll have them say their card said horse gallop. So then they will horse gallop their card over to the second spot on the wall and put it up on the painter's tape. So I'll do that for all of them. So the other hand motions, we had World War II and President Franklin D. Roosevelt. And then Stalin, sorry, I think I said wrong before, but Stalin like that of the USSR and the Katyn Massacre. And then we'll do the United Nations formed, so like the United Nations formed, and then Cold War. And then Gandhi, so G for Gandhi, Gandhi and India's independence. And then the Jewish, so like a beard, Jewish state, and then an S go SM, like this, established. And then Mao, so we'll make an M and go Mao and communist victory in China, do the buttons. So that is timeline this week. For geography this week, we're doing Native American regions. So I'm going to outline each one on the trivia table maps I have for each of my kids. I'm going to do this beforehand, and then at some point they can color in each region as we sing our song together. So first we're going to go over each one. So Native American regions, we've got Eastern Woodlands, so the blue up here, Eastern Woodlands, the Northeast and the Southeast, which is the gray down here. And then we've got Plains in pink and Plateau in orange. And we've got Northwest Coast, which is in red over here. And then California in purple. And then the Great Basin, which is in green. And then Southwest, which is in yellow. So those are the Native American regions. And we are going to sing a song to the tune of Are You Sleeping? So it goes like this. Native American regions, Eastern Woodlands, Plains, Plateau, Northwest Coast, California, Great Basin, Southwest. So I'll do it one more time. Native American regions, Eastern Woodlands, Plains, Plateau, Northwest Coast, California, Great Basin, Southwest. So we'll sing that a few times. I'll let them color in each region for a few minutes. And then I found these on CC Connected. I'll leave below where I found them. But they're just the different regions, and you can cut them out. So I cut mine out, but they're pretty easy to cut out, and you can make them into, like, cut them out, and then the kids can put them together as a puzzle. So I'm going to, after they have a minute to kind of color in their regions, you know, during like a little snack break, I'm going to give them a piece of construction paper and let them glue these together as a puzzle and then take it home. So just for fun and a good little kind of rest, change of pace break. So I will link below where I found that. I just printed them off on cardstock and cut them out, put them in little bags for each kid, and then you can have them just put them together as a puzzle, or you could have them like put it as a puzzle and actually glue it on a piece of paper. Or you could just send them home with the kids if you're kind of running out of time, but fun little extra activity if you have time. So that is geography. For math this week, we are doing the associative law. And I have this printable from Kimberly. I like her printables. I put them on my board and use them at home. So I'll link below where I find her beautiful art. She has these for several of the different subjects and for other things too. But we're going to sing a little song to the tune of Do Lord, Oh Do Lord. So it goes like this. The associative law for addition states, open parenthesis, A plus B, close parenthesis, plus C equals A plus open parenthesis, D plus C, close parenthesis. And then the associative law for multiplication states, open parenthesis, A plus B, A times B, close parenthesis, times C equals A times close parenthesis, B times C, close parenthesis. And I'm gonna have my Baldy come help me sing this song for my kids. So I'll sing it one more time with Mr. Baldy. He came a lot when we were doing the states first semester, so he's back. So we'll sing it one more time. The associative law for addition states, open parenthesis, A plus B, close parenthesis, plus C equals A plus open parenthesis, B plus C, close parenthesis. The associative law for multiplication states, open parenthesis, A times B, close parenthesis, times C equals A times open parenthesis, B times C, close parenthesis. Good job, Baldy. So also for math, it's like puzzle week. I don't know why exactly, but we're doing a lot of puzzles. So I found these. I'll try to find, I think I can find where I found them and link them. I'll try, but you could also just make them. So I found these little puzzles that go together like this, super simple, but you can cut them out, and I laminated mine, and I'll try to hold them all together. And so you could cut them out, laminate them if you want. You don't have to laminate them either. You could just cut them out and have your kids just practice putting them together as they sing the song. So I have one for multiplication, and then for each kid, whoops, and then one for addition. And I did addition and multiplication in different colors. So let's see if I can put it together real quick. So A plus, there we go. Yep. And then the other side, we've got B plus C, and then the middle one, you can kind of see how it goes together like that. So that is math this week. For Latin, we are continuing to sing our song and translate John 1, 1 through 7, and we're doing hand motions to this. I'll link the video of the woman who I am learning this from. She is wonderful. I would highly recommend watching her. I will show you too, but she's much better and polished, and I am still definitely learning it. So this week we're going to do John 1, 6, Cui nomen erat Johannes. So Cui we do like this. Cui nomen erat, and then Johannes we do like a J for John, whose name was John. And on my board, I color coordinate the Latin and the English to show what goes with what. So cui and whose will be blue, nomen and name will be green, erat and was will be purple, and Johannes and John will be red. So I'm going to sing our song from the beginning so you can see it. I'll do this with my kids. We're gonna do this as a whole group in front of our parents at the end of the year ceremony. So I'm working with my class to get the words and hand motions down really well. So we're just doing this each week, focusing on this. So from the beginning, it goes like this. In principio erat verbum, in the beginning was the word. Et verbum erat apud Deum, and the word was with God. Et Deus erat verbum, and the word was God. Hoc erat in principio apud Deum, this was with God in the beginning. Omnia per ipsum facta sunt, all things were made through him. Et sine ipso factum est nihil, and without him nothing was made. Quod factum est, that was made. In ipso vita erat, in him was life. Et vita erat lux hominum, and his life was the light of men. Et lux in tenebris lucet, and the light shineth in the darkness. Et tenebrae eam non comprehenderent, and the darkness comprehended it not. Fuit homo missusa Deo, there was a man sent from God. Cui nomen erat Johannes, whose name was John. So again, this week is just cui nomen erat Johannes, whose name was John. So that is Latin this week. For history this week, we are learning about astronauts. And I have this printable from Kimberly again I'm going to use on my board and at home. And first I'm going to play the classical conversation song because since it's a CC song, I can play it in class, and we're going to float around the room like astronauts. So it goes like this. In 1969, U.S. astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin were the first men to walk on the moon. So I'll have the kids just kind of walk and try to float around, do a moonwalk around the room as we listen to the song. And then I'll either have them keep doing that or sit down, whatever I feel like makes sense. And I'll do some silly words. So I'll say, okay, we're going to sing it again. And if you hear a silly word, raise your hand and tell me. And I might bring Baldy back out to help me. And Baldy can say the silly words just for fun. If you have any puppets, the little kids like love the puppets. So, or if you have toddlers in your room, siblings, it might just really help them stay engaged with some puppets. So I'll say, in 1969, and he can, fly and float around the room too. In 1969, U.S. aquatots. Aquatots? No, what should it be? Oh, astronauts. Oh, okay. In 1969, U.S. astronauts Neil Headstrong. Headstrong? No, what should it be? Armstrong. So each time I do it, and they guess the right word, I go back and do it the right way until the next silly word. So they're hearing the song the right way a lot. And they love these silly words. It's fun. So I keep doing it. So after Headstrong instead of Armstrong, I'm going to do Arnold instead of Aldrin. And then fast instead of first. Crawl instead of walk. And mountain instead of moon. So you can do that, and that is history this week. For science this week, we are talking about the theory of evolution. I have this printable from Kimberly again, and we are going to sing a song to the tune of 5 Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed. You could do this while they're jumping, like have them jump around the room if it's the end and they're tired and kind of crazy. I'm going to give them some silly voice sticks, so I just have popsicle sticks and write different silly voices on them, like this one says fish or pucker face, or this one says excited or scared or mad. You could just make up different silly voices or silly faces or whatever, and they love it. So I do that at least like once for pretty much every week for something, a part of memory work. So it goes like this. Here's our song. What does the theory of evolution rely on? The theory of evolution relies on the belief that life began as a chance combination of non-living things. What does the theory of evolution rely on? The theory of evolution relies on the belief that life began as a chance combination of non-living things. And so if you're doing a silly voice like excited, what's actually excited? What does the theory of evolution rely on? Etc. So, and you can have them like jump around as they do it and just get a lot of energy out. So that is science this week. And then for presentations, since we're learning about astronauts in history, I'm going to have them teach the class about something in outer space. So it could be a moon, a planet, asteroids, astronauts, etc. So they get to choose something and teach the class a little bit about it. And then for review, I just like to wind the kids down because again, I have young kids, 4, 5, 6-year-olds. So I usually give them a coloring page. I forgot to print them for this time, but I get coloring pages if you see my other videos from Etsy. I'll link below where I find them, but you can print out. She has, it's like Designs by Amy, I think, and she has beautiful coloring pages for each subject. So I usually print the history one and the math and maybe the science one and have them pick one to color as I play through some of the review songs. So I make a playlist for each week songs, and then I we'll pick a recent week and just kind of play through the songs, or play through, the songs that we just did too. So that is it, I believe. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope that helps, and have a wonderful week. Bye.